Okay, hello and welcome in everyone. My name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're going to be making a lasagna from this cookbook, Essentials Healthful Cooking. I picked this up at a flea market? No, vendor's village type thing, whatever. It's got some really good recipes in it, and we're gonna try out the lasagna one tonight because I like pasta. So, I hope everyone's having a good week. I have beer. I am happy. I'm ready to cook some vegetables. And also, for those who might be wondering why I'm starting a hair bit early, this lasagna has to cook for like more than an hour. So I've got a pretty long cook ahead of me, so I'm wanting to get ahead of the curve by beer alert. Yes, Mr. Spock. Always gotta have the beer alert. And also, I hope you're having a good day. Oh yeah. I'm having a great day. Gotta love it when the ashes get into everything. Now, and today's gonna get even better. Because spinach. Sweet, sweet, wonderful spinach. Now I realize this may not exactly be an opinion shared by all, but hey, I like spinach. I am a big fan of my greens. And spinach is also like one of those greens I really wish I could grow. I'm absolutely terrible. Well, I tried growing spinach a couple of years ago, and just like all of it died. All died. So, I just buy my spinach by big amount you see here. So, what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna cook this on a medium-high heat. What beer? So, I'm kind of being basic, but I have a lime cerveza, Mexican-style lager, mostly because this was... It was the only beer that was not the IPA from my favorite craft brewery at the Kroger when... Like a White Claw type deal? Nah, it's basically a standard cerveza, but... with lime. I wouldn't call it White Claw. But also, welcome in, Fetty the Spaghetti. But yeah, right now, I am throwing cornucopious amounts of spinach into a saucepan. Never had cerveza. Oh, okay. So, it's... I mean... Cerveza is kind of like a Dos Equis. Okay, so that's my pan maxed out. That's a lid on my pan. And we're gonna just let that cook for a little while. And then I'll probably give it a stir. Ooh, spinach? Great! But yeah, I need to make... Technically, this recipe calls for like 4 pounds of fresh spinach, and I'm not working with that much spinach. Where are we on that? That sounds too much like work. Speaking of work, I've got other work to do. Oh, other than ear breaks. Now, I am a little bit curious for how the spinach is going to cook, simply because it just called for throwing it in a pan on a medium-high heat. So, I imagine it's going to wilt it and cook it down, and hopefully that's what happens. I don't want burnt spinach. Mr. Spock is cooking ribs. Ooh. Hey, Fire. No violence. Today's no violence day. So, while the spinach is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting my peppers diced up, just so that way I can work on one thing while other thing's happening. Wait, if I can defeat the sticker. Sticker defeated. These chunks. I don't know how fine of a dice I should go for. Since this is going into a lasagna. I think I should have it, like, definitely finer than, what I would do if I was, like, making, like, a stir-fry. And if I was doing a stir-fry, I would have, like, nice big chunks of peppers. Like, nice strips, like, sort of, like, this here. That's what I would want. I think for a lasagna, we'll kind of go with some more bite-sized pieces. Kind of have them on the larger side. Oh. There they are. There you are. Hot? Might be. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's cooking down exactly how I expect it to. Awesome. Great. That's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I was concerned that would not happen. So, yeah. But yeah, I hope everyone out there is having a good week. My week's been going pretty alright so far. I gotta say, like, this past week has been, like, one of the most balanced weeks I've had in a long time. And I'm very deeply grateful for that. And what I mean by balanced is I've had a nice balance between doing, like, productive stuff, but also not getting, like, too caught up in stuff. For example, like, on Monday and Wednesday, I managed to get some workouts in on each day. And then yesterday I got a bike ride, so I've been getting a pretty good amount of physical activity in this past week, plus, and also just working on projects and different things. So, gotta say, like, life's been good. Been working on reading. I got actually the newest volume of Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, the book that inspired me to do this. I got the latest omnibus in yesterday, so once I finish the tree book I'm reading right now, I'm gonna start reading that. Kind of hoping to get some more recipe ideas from that series. Yeah. Oh man, that's good cooked spinach. Wonderful. So that's optimistic. I can do one more pepper. By the time I finish that next pepper, I should be done with that round of spinach. Let's see. Firm, nice, lovely, 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 lovely. Oh yeah. Spring has definitely been in full swing at the homestead. But I'm also not drowning in spring, which is... For example, right now I've got the lilies of the valley. They're blooming right now. Redbuds finished blooming last week. But my oaks and some of my other trees are actually really starting to leaf out now, so... speaking of trees and oaks and what have you, that's one of these points I really need to. I want to do a hiking stream at some point, but hopefully, ideally, with I've got a vacation coming up, and I'm hoping to do the prep work for that while I'm on vacation. Yaksugi, what you wanting to bake? So today I'm making a lasagna. Granted, actually at some point, speaking of baking, I probably should. I'd probably try doing bread. I did do persimmon bread last year, though. And the persimmon bread was like a solid alright. It wasn't like amazing. It was an alright. But I'm also working on some like other ideas and things I want to do on in the background. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh man. So I mean, I only know of it being a thing because I follow like foraging people on the internet. In particular, there's a guy called Green Dean Eat the Weeds. Like Eat the Weeds is the name of his like website and YouTube channel. And I picked the recipe up from him. And the thing is, as far as stuff native to Eastern North America, fresh persimmons are far and are like the sweetest thing you can go find in the woods. By far the sweetest thing you can get in the woods. I mean, don't get me wrong, a good pawpaw is really good stuff, but persimmons are just very sweet. They're very sweet when they're ripe. Granted, they're also astringent to the point of exceedingly astringent when they're not ripe. Your mouth will turn inside out. Levels of astringent. Yeah, there we go. Got the timing right on that. In 2 minutes. There we go. There we go. Yep. Good. As much as the spinach out as we can. As you can see, the spinach cooks down. But that's just leafy greens in a skillet. I think when I do, because the peppers, I'm going to do all of those as one batch. I know. That's too awkward of a utensil. So, when you get too awkward of a utensil, switch them out. So some of this spinach has definitely had about all the water cooked out of it, which is honestly ideal. You want to have you essentially want to cook the water out of it. Juice it. Love spinach in the lasagna. Oh man, good to hear. Because today's actually my first time having spinach in the lasagna. Granted, today this lasagna is like the third lasagna I've ever made. So I'm gonna do another round of spinach. And then I think we'll have a fair amount of spinach. Maybe not like the most ideal amount, but we'll have a fair amount. It'll be good. I mean, there'll be enough spinach left over for me to have a salad. I don't even know when that's gonna happen. Because I'm probably gonna have leftovers of this lasagna. And then, after the lasagna is consumed... Well, the thing is like, Friday night is always pizza night with me. So, I'm gonna have pizza tomorrow night for dinner. And then I'm gonna have leftovers of this for a while, but it's still like one cheese. What cheese? Oh, we've got 3 kinds of cheese for today. So for cheeses, we have classic mozzarella. Then we have ricotta cheese. And then, also thanks for reminding me, we actually have actual Parmesan wedges that I need to grate up. Those are going to be our 3 cheeses for tonight. Lid not too hot, lid not too hot. Thank you for lid. Nice, very solid. I mean, hey, I am a guy following a recipe. And this doesn't seem like a recipe that'll let me down, so. Bag might let me. Recipe, not so much. We need 3 peppers. This is my 3rd. Then after we get that round of spinach taken care of, we'll do... Well, after the spinach is taken care of, roast the peppers, and I think I gotta roast... I have peppers to roast. Then I think I have to prep one other thing, which I might be able to prep that while the peppers are roasted. I'll be done with this. Brandon, I gotta say, the best thing about having beer is, like right now, is I was absolutely famished when I got home from work today. And now that beer's actually giving me the staying power to hold off on my appetite until I actually have food ready. 3 long strips. That will go down. Wait, woodpeckers. Don't be having too much fun. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh man, that's funny. So the funny thing is that I literally just remembered is at work, someone just gave my boss a chimney cap made out of stainless steel. And I took measurements of my chimney yesterday to see if it would fit my chimney. I just now realized I left work for my last call today and I didn't check the chimney cap. See if I could use it. Ooh. Ashy, ashy, ashy. Let's give that a little stir from sticking. Ooh. Wow. While I gather up peppers. Didn't you say you had a double IPA that's aging? Actually, I don't. I have a pale ale that's actually ready. What will probably be the beer I have with this meal once it's done will be a pale ale. Oh, peppers diced. But yeah, I don't have any, I don't have a double IPA. It's Jeepers Creepers. I think the double IPAs, those take a while. Those take a long while to, like, properly age. And I don't have the patience to do, like, actual aging. Granted, that's actually one of the funny things that I'll see at, like, some of the breweries I go to. Which one is it? Mile Wide Brewing Company. They actually have an area where they show off their barrel aging program. And in that area, they have all the dates for when they put the beer in the bourbon barrels. They've been bourbon barrel aging beer. I think the last time I was there, some of the later dates were from like 2023, let's say. Oh, whoa. Okay, that just broke apart. Definitely need to add some firewood. Gotta keep that firewood going. Granted, also trying to keep ashes out of my food, but I mean, the good thing with ashes is they're sterile. Plus, all this firewood's soft maple, so I'm not worried about poisoning. Having thoughts. I'm at a dangerous age to be having thoughts. So, I want to figure out this cheese I want in this bowl. That's what I need to figure out. Okay, so I want all of it. Half cup. I want a half cup of my solid cheese. Be going into this bowl. Also, keeping track of this. Sure I do frequent enough stirrings. But as you can see, it's really reduced. But since I have a whole bunch of heat over in this area, I'm gonna keep the spinach closer to me. That way it doesn't get burnt. If I can see if I can peel this open without ruining the cheese or anything. I think this is actually my first time working with actual Parmesan wedge cheese. Which was actually kind of the funny thing about this was I was looking up different cheeses the recipe was calling for. And then it was calling for like a really particular type of Parmesan. And I was like, is it calling for a very particular type of Parmesan? And it's like, oh, it's calling for like the actual like OG Parmesan. Was what the recipe was calling. Ah, there we go. Worked the seam. Okay, cool. Granted, this cheese is great. Should be able to. Yeah. But this is probably Parmesan OG sounds like a straight. Yeah, well, Parmesan cheese is also like one of those things where it's like there's actual certifications for cheese that is like certified in Italy as Parmesan, because like most of like the Parmesan that like the craft Parmesan that you'll get in like a Parmesan shaker, that's actually not like actual Parmesan. Cows were not sacrificed for that Parmesan. Whereas like the quote unquote good Parmesan, you gotta sacrifice a cow. What is it then? It's actually a Parmesan made in Italy, and you're actually supposed to use like actual rennet, which comes from a calf's intestine. Ooh, snappy! Hey, Zerzon, welcome in. It's been too long since I had lasagna. Oh, shut. I want to say the last time I had lasagna was like a month or two ago. 3. Okay, so that spinach is cooking beautiful. I mean, what's all the powdered stuff? So the standard Parmesan cheese that you'll get like in a green craft shaker can, it is Parmesan cheese, but they use a plant-based rennet. To be fair, 1 week would still be too long. Oh man. Zerzon gets it. Zerzon understands the wonders of Italian food. I mean, me personally, I just love Italian. Mostly because it's just carbs and sauce and cheese. you just take carbs, you take a carb, you get a good sauce, and then you get some cheese, and then you combine it all. And that's what makes Italian food OP. Gosh, and I knew grating this cheese by hand was going to be a pain in the butt. And it is a pain in the butt, but you know what? Add some sausage. So, funny enough, this is the second time I made lasagna on the channel. And the pseudo theme for this one is it actually being vegetarian. Because the first one I made, I actually used a meat sauce for, like a sauce. Suffering for the arts. I am suffering for the deliciousness. I mean, granted, I'm also. I'd say that's. I reckon I have probably at least a quarter cup of cheese, so. I still have more prep work, well, other prep work to do before I actually start building the pasta. Before I start building the lasagna. Granted. Yeah. Stuff smells good though. It smells really good. Granted, unfortunately, I'm probably getting to the point where I gotta worry about my spinach. Well, he got pre-grated mozzarella, so he's only half cheese. I can't suffer for all the cheese, you know? Oh, well. Okay. So. Cool. Go. Assuming I can handle my handle. Ooh. They do melt better though. Ooh yeah. Ideally, it melt better and it tastes better. Pro tip: if you freeze the cheese 10 minutes before grating it. Whoa! Ah, that was a really neat sound. Not sure if the mic picked up that sound, but I do like that idea, Haggle. Because I can see how that actually works, because you essentially basically make the cheese more solid before you grate it. Okay. That is spinach done. Spinach done. Off to the side. Fire, I need to address you. I gotta address you in my latest performance review, and I'm not particularly happy with your performance right now. Oh man. A piece of wood. But close. A little bit too close. Just back off. Back off a little bit. Here. Okay. Okay. I need some room. I need some room here. Bam. We're gonna just keep grating. You know what? I'm not worried about getting the amount correct. Because honestly, if I overshoot my quote-unquote half cup of this stuff, that's just more cheese in my lasagna. When I was a kid, whenever we made pizza, my mom would make me grate the cheese. Oh man. Back when I was younger, my grandpa, and then I didn't know the freeze trick. Oh. But yeah, back when I was younger, my grandpa, for all the various like families, he would buy them cheese. He would buy each family a cheese log. And this would be like a 30-pound cheese log. It's a literal log of cheese. And we would get the food processor out, and we would just process cheese. Process cheese. Ooh, we're looking really close. I have a big chunk, but I don't care about big chunks. Okay. Getting real close on Parmesan. However, though, no, not that far. Incorrect. I have peppers to roast. So, I have a little bit of spinach in there. And for these peppers, I'm gonna hit it with a generous helping of olive oil. And then get my handy dandy peppers. And splash those guys in there. And just let that do its thing for a little while. And while it does this thing, I continue to grate Parmesan. I dare you to take a big bite out of that Parmesan. The thing is, I won't do a big bite. Just because I don't want to, like, quote-unquote ruin the Parmesan. But I will take a slice. And I will eat the slice. Oh, hell yeah. That's really good. That's good. That's good eating. Also, I'm starting to think I think I'm starting to overshoot my half cup. But as you can see, these hands aren't stopping. Yamagawa cheese train has no brakes. We have no brakes on the cheese train. Oh my gosh. So, in a little bit more than a week from now, I'm gonna be in the legendary land of Wisconsin. And you guys better believe I am just gonna be just eating so many cheese curds. I think really sharp cheese has crystals of MSG. Huh. I've never heard that, but I guess I can see it. Okay. And starting to hit my fatigue point with cheese grating, and honestly, that's easily more than that's easily more than a that is easily more than a half cup of Parmesan. So I'm happy with this amount of Parmesan. Ah, Crantatus! Hello, welcome in. Woo, lasagna. Yep, yes. Once again, and I like the people here. I like all the people here. Like you guys understand the joys of Italian food. The sweet, wonderful joys of combining sauce, carbs, and cheese. Lasagna together. Yes. Oh man, it would be so funny if someone did like a panel at a convention, and it was just a lasagna appreciation panel. I'd go to that. Granted, I'm the type of person where if I'm at like a convention or something, I like going to the weird panels. Oh, okay. I just spent 4 days in Italy, and one of the best meals I had was a lasagna. Oh, nice. Very nice. In roughly 1 week's time, I will get to lasagna discussion has so many layers. But yeah, in roughly 1 week's time, I will be going to the Holy Land of Wisconsin, which, if you don't know stuff about the U.S., Wisconsin's where all the cheese is made. And I went last year, and I still very distinctly remember going to a pizza place, getting an appetizer of cheese sticks for the table. Everyone gets their cheese stick. I take a bite of my cheese stick. I put my cheese stick down, and I'm just like, this is bar none the best cheese stick I've ever had in my entire life. No competition. Best cheese stick ever. And I was just like, oh man, this place is amazing. Granted, they also have good beer. Which, speaking of good beer, this is Deschutes Black Brute, non-alcoholic. And I gotta say, Athletic, you guys have competition, because this stuff is amazing. Cheers. Granted, the original Black Brute is also a very good porter. Wait, is it porter? Is it porter or stout? Damn it, I don't... forget if it's a porter or a stout. Because funny enough, my local Kroger sells this, but not their like standard thing. Great, I was also reading I was recently reading an article of top 50 craft breweries in the US, and Deschutes I think was in the top 20, 30. I think it's a porter. Okay. But Deschutes is a pretty big and up there brewery in the US. Yeah. What else do I need for my magic substance? Because I want to work on this while those are roasting. Crumble. Okay. Time for our next ingredient, and that is soft tofu. And damn it, peeled the edge, but not. Didn't peel the part I wanted to peel. Where's my knife? Oh. It's behind spinach. Don't hide your knives behind spinach, kids. You will never find your knife again. Okay, so. I'm supposed to drain this. Get all the moisture out. But I was hoping to peel it, and it did not peel. Not peel in the ideal manner. There you go. Okay, so I can kind of work with that a little bit more. Apparently they make 11% black brute with cherries, cocoa, and vanilla. Oh, one of the big things I gotta do with this tofu is I have to get moisture out of it. Granted, I almost don't care about having moisture in it. Because I don't know how much I'm going to lose in terms of moisture to the cooking process for the... Sure, hang out like that. I got a Cocoa PB one too. Oh my gosh. It's basically like West 6's Snake Eyes line. Where it's like, hey, they have a version that is like PB&J. And it's been a while since I've had the PB&J beer though. Very jiggly. Very substantial. We're just gonna cut this up. And I'm gonna vaguely follow instructions here. I vaguely follow instructions. Knife, arc. Stay there. Should I worry about you? Probably. It's been a while. And also, you better believe we're gonna be throwing plenty of olive oil at this thing. So. The hardest part. Okay. Need to get these out. Okay, so. Recipe calls for squeezing. Ain't gonna happen. You got a tequila barreled aged one that they're crashing out on that recipe. Neat. But, so, for the tofu, basically what I'm doing is I have to crush it and basically turn it into, according to the recipe, it said, make it look like cottage cheese. So, make look like cottage cheese Sugi can do. Granted, this stuff is so cold. So cold. Oh, hey. Is that the similar to... Nobody said anything about tofu. Recipe said something about tofu. Gotta throw a whole pound of tofu into this. I mean, keep in mind, it's lasagna. Tofu... Actually, tofu can taste really dang good, depending on what you cook it in and what sauces you have it with. I mean, it's also part of the... I guess it's part of also the theming of the book, because the book is, like, themed, like, healthy cooking. So when I think of healthy cooking, I do think of tofu. Man, I gotta say, this is definitely looking very cottage cheesy. So, it will end up exactly per recipe. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Come here, come here. Oh yeah. I'm also one of those weirdos who thinks that people who think meat should always be like the focus of a dish don't understand how to use meat in a dish. Like, in my opinion, meat is one of the strongest supporting class. My hands have been cottage cheesed. Meat is a supporting class member, not a main class member. Granted, that's actually kind of one of the... That's actually one of, like, the really cool things with a lasagna, is, like... A lasagna is literally a whole bunch of supporting cast coming together to make something amazing. And in my opinion, that is, like, one of the best things about an actual, like, good recipe. Is a whole lot of supporting cast coming together to make something amazing. Okay, what other ingredients go in my magic bowl? Because we got the tofu, crumble, large bowl, resembling cottage cheese, powder, egg whites, stirred to combine. Okay, so I now need to do... Ricotta cheese will go in here. And 2 egg whites. I think it's 2 egg whites. Pretty sure it's 2 egg whites. Yes. 2 large egg whites. Sure. Hello, ricotta cheese. We're glad to welcome you here to the lasagna team. Thanks for joining the best team. So I'm gonna try and like finger this out, break it up, so it isn't like in like chunks or like big solid chunks. Small-ish chunks are fine, but we don't want big chunks. We want to create a mix here, you know? Granted, this bowl is really starting to fill up. Man, those peppers smell absolutely to die for. Yeah, I really want to cover the tofu. Well, you know, tofu is like a lot of things. You gotta balance it out. We're gonna balance it out with cornucopious amounts of other cheese. And next up, not one, but 2 egg whites. Funny enough, I don't know about those. Okay, and... Ooh. A little aggressive there, buddy. So. Oh, yeah, that's what we are talking about. Nope, don't want the yolk. Oh, we got a little bit of yolk in there. Well, I tried. No! It's a little bit of yolk. What's the big deal? I mean, I'm pretty sure it just wants the egg whites as a binder. You ruined it. Who cares? Not like you guys are gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this. Ooh. Ooh, that's definitely a bit rough. Break. I came for the lasagna. I see egg on fire. Well, I have to do something with my my yolk. I'm technically not supposed to have yolk in this. Because I'm presuming they're using the... They call for egg whites as like a binder. Also, welcome in, Nando! I've been seeing you having lots of fun with Age of Empires. And I'm just like, oh man. Breaking a couple eggs is worth it for a good lasagna. True. Very true. There's so many things that are worth it for a good lasagna. Which one? Age of Empires 2. So the Nando's been doing a lot of, like, casting and different things. He also recently went to... Oh, wow. It's full of hot air. Yes, Age of Empires 2, best one. So, he's been doing a lot of cool stuff with that. And I need to worry immensely about my peppers. Yep. It was appropriate to worry about the peppers. Those are getting really close to me. Exercise strength. So I'm just trying to get it a little bit further off the heat. So it kind of cools down a little bit. And for this, I still think I have more ingredients for you. I have more ingredients. So that, stir until well combined. Done. Sweet. 2 things left. Black pepper. And kosher salt. So. Salt for a teaspoon. I'm gonna call that a teaspoon. And then nice, generous helping of black pepper. And with that, I think that's gonna help flavor the tofu. Oh man, we're gonna do other things to flavor the tofu. so many better things to flavor tofu. And as you can see, we did get a little bit of egg yolk in here, but I'm going to be 100% Hakuna Matata about that. And I'm just going to stir it until this is well combined. And then we can actually start building a lasagna. I am so incredibly glad I actually started stream a little bit early. Because... Because we got a long cook. There we go. Roasted red peppers done. Alright, enough tofu jokes. I'm sure it'll taste great providing a generous serving of protein. Yeah. Stick a hot thing somewhere. Behind me is about as good as it's gonna get. So. Oh god. And here it is. Dutch oven coon. Probably the heaviest piece of cookware. Probably heavier than... I'm already getting hungry from this. Yes, Dutch oven coon. Probably the biggest and heavy. Whoa. Okay. Well, that was certainly unnecessarily exciting. So I grabbed my olive oil jug by the lid, and when I squeezed it, it let go. There's olive oil everywhere now. And I lost the lid, so. And I'm covered in olive oil, but honestly, that's fine though. Olive oil's great. So, we're gonna do a very nice, generous helping. Olive oil all across the bottom. Respect for the olive oil jug, very important. Score. Well, I am a fan of the Costco and the Kirkland brand, and this is the amount of olive oil they sell it in. They sell it by the 2 liter. I always have to buy 2 liters. Okay. I'm getting paper towels. I'll be back. Okay. Well, it's good to solve the mystery of where my lid went. Somehow it ended up in my shirt. Okay. Well soaked paper towel. Fire. Can we move? Camera moved a little bit. Here you randomly get 6-liter jugs as gift from neighbors. Nice. Oh man, the joys of living in the Mediterranean. Well, I know like Portugal doesn't border the actual Mediterranean, but like it's in the Mediterranean area. Okay. So this is I pay attention to things because we've done a lot of our preps. This whole paragraph is how we build the lasagna. We construct lasagna. Yeah, we're considered a Mediterranean country, you're correct. Okay, okay. Because I know you're on the Iberian Peninsula with Spain. But I didn't know if that actually made you a Mediterranean country or not, even though you don't border the Mediterranean. But yeah, so we're going to be using a very... Please don't ask me to pronounce this, but it is a rich marinara sauce with a kick of red peppers and garlic. And I like peppers, I like garlic, I like all those things. But we're just going to go in there. Nice, generous helping of sauce. And then, use the good old classic technique. Passed down in the Yamagawa family for a long time. I just came up with it last year. Technique for getting all the pasta sauce out of the jar. I.e., put yourself a little bit of water. Give your can a nice good shake. And voila, voila. You have a clean can. And it's ready for recycling. So that's layer 1, sauce. Now we need noodles. I use that technique for shampoo. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. So we now do a layer of 3 noodles now. I am going to have to be a little bit careful here. Break them. To get my coverage. Because I can... The center noodle just fits. Well, actually, wait. Edge noodle? No. So, break a little bit of that corner. A little bit of that corner, maybe. That is pasta sauce. Noodle layer 1. I think we're gonna go in with this next. But I will be following my instructions. Ooh. Okay. So, this is why I have to pay attention. I'm going to use half the peppers at this stage. I'm going to be using half of our toasted red peppers. Oh man. That looks amazing. There will be faces. Peppers. Half spinach. Come on down, spinach. I want to just shake this out. We need half the spinach, but I want to try and get as reasonably close to a layer of spinach. So we're gonna basically have, we have a layer of sauce, we have a layer of spinach. Okay. Half my spinach. Just all put, we can use a hair bit more. Just a hair bit more. There we go. There we go. Okay. This calls for some garlic. I had minced tube garlic. It'll probably be better if I could do smaller amounts. Oh, what? Garlic's really good. Honestly, garlic is, in my opinion, like cheese. You can't go wrong with using too much. But I need about 1 clove of garlic at this stage, so We're gonna go with the... yeah, that's probably alright. Probably excessive, but... I'm fine with excessive when it comes to things I like garlic and cheese. Up half the cheese mixture. So we want half the cheese mixture. Garlic, peppers, olive oil, pasta, true Mediterranean dish. Yes. Yes. So, now we're gonna add half of our cheese mixture. So I'm gonna start off by just doing some dollops. Lasagna. After this, we'll probably do another layer of noodles. We need 9 noodles. So, more scoop of the cheese mixture. Then, try and do here, even it out. Basically, we're gonna use the cheese mixture to fill in all the gaps. Handle. Okay. Cheese mixture tastes good. Can confirm. There we go. Cheese mixture. I lost my page in my book. I mean, I got Bell Sprout hanging in there for me, but... Cases. Top with an... Okay. 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 This reminds me when I cook big batches of sell the extra to my coworkers. Ooh, man, there you go. That's a way to do it. Unfortunately for me, I have to live with the consequences of what I've made by myself. Woe is me. I don't know, I'll probably be looking at this and being like, Sugi, what did you do to yourself again? And I'll look at myself in the mirror and I'll be like, Sugi, I made you happy. Don't you appreciate me? Come on, myself. Appreciate the efforts of past Sugi. Yeah. Another layer of noodles. To which we add a layer of peppers. Spinach coming on down. Actually, just hurt a little bit. Gonna spread the spinach out. Yeah, that spinach all nice spread out. Yep. And we'll get the remainder of that goodness in there. There we go. Cheese mixture. Okay. Garlic. So this is going to be our last round of garlic. Just using the knife to keep my stuff as small as I can. At least it ended up being big. I mean, I certainly will not complain about too much garlic in my food, but Ain't any good on the sidewalls, garlic. Be down in the dish. That's where you'll be delicious. Fire's doing exactly what. Oh, that's garlic done. Cheese mixture. There we go. All the cheese mixture. I'm really glad I used this large of a bowl. Because I was almost wanting to use a slightly smaller bowl, but that bowl was already, it was already dirty and I couldn't use it. And it looks like an Italian flag. Now I understand why they picked these colors. Yeah. Italians, they know how to take their food seriously. Definitely much, they're a lot better with it than us here in the US. There we go. There we go. Park you off to the side. Sure. Awesome. We're running out of steps. Which is what makes me happy, is this is kind of like the most intimidating step to me, is noodles. I'm going to kind of just press them in a little bit, just to kind of help press the, yeah, and even it out, because it's all, well, it's very thick food. Okay, and then sit down. Yep. Knife coon. Unseal the Italian goodness. And we just drizzle it with the rest of the sauce. Somehow I ended up with sauce on me. Like I'm a child. Like, you know what? Fine, I'm young at heart enough for this. Check, 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 check. Go. Clean jar. Grab the spoon from earlier. And even everything out. Ooh. Good pasta sauce. Okay. Okay. We can cook now. We can finally start cooking the lasagna. Oh, dear goodness. Wood, come towards me. And shovel coon into the fire. Fish me out some coals. Oh, I want to be a little bit generous with this. My bottom bed of coals. There we go. There we go. And the lid on. Hook. Oh, wow. Oh no, I gotta stand up for this. This has gotten heavy. Goodness gracious. Now, shovel cone goes back to the fire. To extract more coals. Dutch oven demands more coals. I bet Sugi could make his own pot to make the lasagna. Oh man. Man, that would be So, funny enough, the Dutch oven was actually a gift from my sister. Last year? Well, not last year, but 2024. I'd hate to not use a gift my sister got me. Stabbed myself. Okay. And let's see. Oh. The biggest thing I want to... Oh, that was super nice of her. I need to head to rest, but I hope the gods of lasagna smile upon your efforts. Oh, thank you for stopping by, the Nando. And may the gods of rest bless you with a good rest. Now, as for me, I need more fire. Because I might have to replenish the coals. Actually, I'm fully intending to. Oh. I got charcoal. And clean up. And somewhat clean. And I still have beer. Okay, so now I must start timer. I can keep a phone in my hand. Oh, wait, what? Ah, exciting. Okay. Well. Well. Oh, I'm gonna have some adult responsibilities after stream. Wait. Oh, wait. Speaking of adult responsibilities, I need to set a timer. Oh, dearie. And this is gonna be my reality. Now, granted, we're technically a little bit ahead of the game because of getting the lasagna going, but I am gonna set the timer for the full hour and a half, mostly because I just want to let the lasagna do its thing. Yeah, so that's gonna be doing its thing for like the better part of an hour. So, and this is actually the real fun part. Like, if you're making lasagna yourself, you can leave your lasagna alone and go do something else. You can just do that. As for me, yes, I am stuck here. So, hopefully the cook happens pretty well. I was actually intending on getting, at least you have beer. Well, I finished that beer. I need to crack open another beer, but I'm gonna yammer a little bit before I do the next beer. But I was intending to get a infrared thermometer, but I did not end up going to like the Lowe's or Home Depot this past weekend. So I do eventually plan on picking one up, because that's going to be really great. I could just point it at the side of the Dutch oven and it'll tell me at least what the side of the Dutch oven is at. But if my heat's a little bit on the high side, who cares? Because technically this is supposed to cook at 350 for the hour and quarter. I think with the amount of coals, I'm a hair bit over that. So hopefully that speeds up the cook time. Could use a grill thermo. Hey. Funny enough, I have this thermometer that I salvaged off the grill when I destroyed it, because I had to make room for the tool shed. Where my tool shed is now was where there used to be a grill. So, the only issue is this would be the end of the temp probe. And if I were to stick it into the side of the Dutch oven, I would lose my... No. You didn't think I would actually grab an actual grill thermometer. But yeah, unfortunately this will not work because I would have to drill a hole in that the side of the cast iron. But honestly, we're just gonna play it by ear. I think that's like the safest method. Yeah, but I mean, I've got a timer going, so I'll probably check the lasagna at the 45-minute mark. See how we're cooking. But yeah, I bet you didn't think I was just gonna grab a grill thermometer. Rena, I think I actually know what you mean. I have seen that people have like wireless thermometers where you can just stick it in like your oven, whatever you're cooking, and you can keep track of the temperature with Bluetooth to your phone. Those look cool, but those are also very expensive. They're pricey. And I'm already currently eyeing some expenditures for a thing I wish to do for the channel. And it's also just a matter of like utility. Like an infrared thermometer would be really great for the Dutch oven, some fire stuff. It would not be good for blacksmithing because infrared thermometers don't work at like some of the higher blacksmithing temperatures. So I can't use it in those applications. But here around the fire pit, definitely could use it. And I think that's enough of yammering for it. And have a beer. But yeah, so I checked my phone and apparently a test for like a program I'm enrolled in, the due date was supposed to be, I had the due date as Friday, and apparently the instructor wants it done today. Like, so that's going to be my adult responsibility after stream is while I am full of lasagna, I have to take a test for a thing, so we will see how that goes. I mean, I'm not having enough beer to really impact my performance on the test, but that was just kind of a fun, like, check my email. Well, actually check my text. I had a coworker who I was taking this class with. They texted me. Yeah, so exactly, fire. Fooey on that. But oh well. I mean, it's an inconvenience, but I can get it taken care of. Now, whether or not I can yammer for like the full amount of time while the lasagna cooks, we'll see. But I will certainly give it my best efforts. I mean, so this Sunday we're going to be building a cedar raised bed. Hopefully, I'll be able to use up the better part of my of my cedar lumber I have. Well, actually not even the better part of it, but a decent amount of the scraps, because I have way too much cedar lumber and I need to make some of that stuff disappear. So build that, and that's built. I want to do an herb garden. Just herbs. Dedicated wholly to herbs. So I'll be probably doing mostly thyme, basil. I know I bought an herb, like seeds. I bought seeds for an herb, but I haven't gotten those started yet. Might do that Saturday. I mean, one of the weird upsides of this test suddenly becoming due is, well, if I get it taken care of, I don't have to worry about it. Oh, But what else? I don't know. I will say, and your potatoes, doing amazing. Doing absolutely amazing. And yes, so I can actually do more than just talk. I can also show. Gotta be careful. But yeah, tender potatoes, potato leafies, sticking above rims. Good. Containers, they're doing really well. Funny enough, I actually will probably have to fill them up sooner rather than later, which is also good, because that means it. Because that wheelbarrow you saw has dirt in it. And that reduces its carrying capacity for stuff like firewood. So, probably at some point this weekend, I'll dump the remainder of the dirt into the pots, kind of hill the pots up a little bit. And that should get those off to a pretty good start. Brassicas, my broccoli, cabbage, kind of doing kind of meh right now. Probably overdue for some fertilizing. My peas that I planted at the beginning of March, those are doing quite well right now. But still no flowers yet. We've had reasonably warmer weather, and weather hasn't been quite as cool as peas like. Peas like nice, cool, like actual, like proper spring weather. Whereas we've been having days that get up into like the 80s, which is fairly warm. For like mid-April, where I'm at, because it's around this time that I would be formally past my last frost date. So, been warm for this period of time of year, so. But, as I mentioned earlier, all the trees are doing really well. Last year, when I did the second EPA woodshed, I had to dig up and transplant a sycamore tree. And I did not handle that transplant with any degree of grace. Well, so far as I can tell, that sycamore is doing pretty well. It's actually leafing out. Doesn't look like it's under too much stress. Granted, I also did it during the fall. And for those who don't know, if you're going to do any tree planting or transplanting type stuff, fall's usually the best time of the year to do that stuff. Because in the fall, trees are putting a lot more focus and energy into their root systems. Since they're putting more energy and focus into their root systems, they're better able to establish themselves. With a fall planting versus a spring planting, trees want to send their energy upwards, make leaves, make stems, make lots of photosynthesis happen. Whereas if you do a fall planting, they'll be more focused on strengthening their roots, getting established, those good things. So, if you can do a transplant, do it in the fall, not the spring. Spring can work, but fall's better. Or like trees, what have you. Hops are growing very well. I have only gotten, I think, 2 of my twines twisted together, which for I say like over 20 twines. Basically, strings from the bottom of the trellis to the ground. Only getting 2 twisted together with the density I have them at. That's good. That's reasonably good. I'm not too worried on how all that's going to play out. Now, see, as we shift more into May, I'll get a better picture of how the hops will grow. Because spring, they'll be very quick, and what I want to do, biggest thing I want to focus on for the hops is I want to make sure all my bines grow at reasonably the same pace. The reason for that is I want all my hops to be ready at the same time. If some of the bines grow faster than the others, then, because once they hit the top of the trellis, they will automatically start flowering. And I can get uneven flowering out of my hops, which means I'll have to pull some binds this week. I'll have to pull other binds next week, and if I end up with a spread of my season, makes it hard for me to efficiently harvest my hops. Let's try Strong Zero. Oh my god. Oh my. One of my friends was actually pointing out the brand. That it actually exists here in the US. But I did watch the VTuber anime. And you know what? If I could get an opportunity to just get like one thing of Strong Zero, for real though, is it $1? I don't know if it's $1. All I remember was going to a liquor store with him, and there was like a pallet of 6-packs. And it wasn't called Strong Zero, it was called something else, but it did exist and it's being distributed in North America. Which was a cool thing. Yeah, that's branding. Which I don't understand the negative 196, but hey, I mean, I think the Gotchi Zero was much better branding, but I'm also like deeply weeb pilled, so once again, biased, horridly biased, and not sure if biased in a good way. Imp of Liquid. You know what? That might be it. That might be the temp of Liquid Nitro. Yep, okay. Not sure why you would want to call your alcohol brand Liquid Nitrogen Cold. Because honestly, I would almost imagine a can of beverage where you peel off the whole top, and then you just take your glass and then you just fold it upside down, and then it slowly melts out the solid chunk of ice, and then it just goes chunk into the glassware. Because that's how they extract flavor from the fruit. Ah. That is a neat. That is definitely a neat. Huh. It's normally a lot of stuff like that is like, usually it's like artificially seasoned or something. Well, flavored. Artificially flavored. Where they will just use like actual flavor chemicals. Which, the difference between... Which... Fun fact. See, the difference between artificial flavoring and natural flavoring is chemically they can be the same. But if you were to say take bananas and like chemically extract the flavoring chemical from an actual banana feedstock, you can call that isolated chemical natural flavoring. Whereas if you synthetically, artificially, make the same chemical, then you have artificial flavoring. So that's your artificial flavoring versus natural flavoring. Natural flavoring can literally be, they can be the exact same thing, but it's the process of how you got to them. It's what determines whether or not you have artificial or natural flavoring. Which, interestingly enough, like, because I'm just kind of like thinking right now outside my wheelhouse, whatever. Thinking out loud. I don't think there's been many attempts at making like artificial hop flavoring. Now, it could be I haven't done enough research into it, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any instances of like artificial hop abstract or anything like that. Because you can get, I know you can get the powder. So when the hop cone fully matures, you'll see like a golden yellow, maybe orangish powder. And that's the actual like really concentrated flavoring. I think they call it lupine powder. So if you see a beer where it's like it's like, hey, we made this with lupine powder. That's what lupine powder is. Kind of like extra concentrated hop. But other than like instances of extra concentrated hop, I can't really think of many instances of like trying to artificially make hop flavor. Like, I can't think of any. I don't know. Maybe if I was willing to research it, I might find something. I mean, granted, it also doesn't take a lot. Well, I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot of hops to... Like, you don't have to, like, have, like... I can only imagine. Actually, how much beer could you hop with an acre of hops? Because the area where I grow my hops, I would say it's roughly 8 foot by 5 foot. So that's 40 square feet. So in a 40 square feet area, I can grow enough hops to hop one batch of pale ale. That's 5 gallons. So, square foot an acre. Holy smokes. So an acre has 43,560 feet, so calculator, 1,500 feet. Now, I'm going to round up my 40 square feet for 5 gallons. Just because in like an actual field, you would want to have like room for like tractors and equipment and such. So we'll divide that by 50. And we'll times that by 5. So 1 acre of hops should be enough to hop 4,356 gallon pale ale. Which that seems like a lot of pale ale, so convert it to ounces by multiplying by 64, and then let's just turn this into, then that is how many 12-ounce bottles of beer you would have season, well, season or flavor with hops. We'll call it flavored. But that's 23,232 bottles of beer. That's a lot of beer. I mean, this is a simple cerveza, man. So this is basically like, which a cerveza is basically a Mexican style lager. So not a lot of hops going into this bad boy. So you can probably easily double. I probably should turn that down. Just in case anything you buy happens. But yeah. But back in the math like that is math I like doing. I like thinking, okay, so I can yield this amount of stuff, this amount of space. If I scaled it up, what would that look like? How much could I do? And it turns out the answer is a lot. The answer is a lot. Oh. Granted, I would also hate to harvest an acre of hops by hand. Like, do my small little area of hops that I have. I probably spend about 3 hours, 3-4 hours, maybe more if we include the time where I spend trying everything out and doing all that work. That adds to it. So, yeah. And to scale that up to like a whole acre? That's not worth my time, man. That's not worth my time at all. Shucks. Oh. So eventually, July, beginning of July, my blackberries will be in season. Last year, I picked blackberries until I was tired of picking blackberries. I truly got tired of picking blackberries. And admittedly, I don't grow like a great deal of blackberries. An okay-ish amount of blackberries. I mean, the only reason I grow as much blackberries as I do is because they're such a low-maintenance crop. Like, I just kind of let them do their thing, let them go hog wild, and I've got blackberries out the wazoo. But yeah. I'm missing something. Let's fix that missing something. Granted, I also really like the fire. Because this is firmly in cozy territory. Not too hot, not too cold. It's cozy. Perfect. Perfect fire. That perfect fire for today. Gives me enough heat to cook on, but not so much heat where it's cooking me. Ugh, jeepers creepers. That is one of the downsides of doing Campfire cooking stream, because eventually I won't be doing these once we get into like the hotter months. I'm sure that larger metal sheet helps. That's so this metal sheet has two jobs. Job one is to keep the heat of the fire off of me. As you can see, the height of my beer can, the height of my metal sheet, is to keep the fire from making my beer too warm. That is the second reason, and that is also primarily the main reason, is why I have the metal sheet, is it keeps my beer cold. Otherwise, I would end up with warm beer. But yeah, I actually made this out of a scrap piece of metal pipe, like metal ductwork pipe. So you can got a little bit of a crimp thing here, and then a little bit of a slot here. But yeah, just random bit of sheet metal I had laying around used, which is honestly one of the reasons why I like having random sheet metal. And granted, also speaking of metal, I have this thing. This thing. That's tool shed. That's tool shed over there. I don't have handles for this. So, sometime next week, I'll be doing my next blacksmithing stream, and I want to make a set of handles for the tool shed. And also, good evening, Dad's Old Shop. I hope you're having a good week. But one of the things I wish to do for the handles for the tool shed is... That's a great idea. Handles are a great entry point. Well, I also really like it from the perspective of handles seem very simple and straightforward to make. And I need simple and straightforward. But what I'm not going to do the twists because my fire poker stick here. This is actually this was made by like an actual blacksmith. I do want to put a twist on them, on the handles. So essentially is for the handle project, I'm gonna have a piece of 1/4 stock. Or this is 1/4 stock. Or might be 3/8. I don't know. But similar stock to this. All I have to do is I want to put a simple twist in it. And I have to bend a curve. Well, what I'll probably do is at the end, I'll flatten it out. It's 3x8. It's probably 1/4 is tiny. Okay. Okay, yeah. Then my rod's probably 3/8. Then I think. But I want to make a flat end, about yay-ish big. The purpose of that will be a place to drill a couple holes for some screws, curve, twisty bit, curve, another flat spot for mounting screws. Should be reasonably straightforward as a blacksmithing build. But that's probably gonna be the only stream I do next week, because late next week I start my vacation, so I hate to break it to you all, but I am going to go on vacation, and I am going to enjoy my vacation. Because unfortunately for me, summer's coming. And I just want to do a twist for the middle segment. Like the part where you grab your hands, I just want to twist there. I want to keep it very simple and very doable. Really don't want to venture out into like good territory or like experienced territory. Like, keep in mind, I've done 2 blacksmithing streams. Ooh, that'll need some quenching then. Okay. Well, I have an overflowing abundance of peanut oil. So, I have plenty of oil. And I think I'd rather go oil for water, because if I go oil, I think you would end up with like an actual black patinta, like what I have here. You have to do an oil quench versus a water quench. Also, a water quench, very brittle material. I know that much. Don't know a lot. Depending on your steel, you're going to want to cool the ends before twisting. Oh, okay. That does affect my order of operations. Depending on your steel, you're going to want to cool the ends before twisting to keep it paint. Oh, okay. Figured if you're using mild steel, water quenching for cooling is... I'm pretty sure I have a mild steel. Because my stock is basically like generic. Go to the steel store, pull some cold roll off the rack, and be like, "Yes, I want this." Mild steel's good for this stuff. Mild steel's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's probably not like the most ideal thing for like making tools out of, but for like hardware, doing an oil quench to finish is totally fine. Will help with the patina. Okay. This is another thing I'm a little bit concerned about. Is this is going to be an outdoor application, so I will want a little bit more protection versus a thing that will just live in the shop or live inside. If it lives inside, I can be like, whatever about it. Well, I can be a little bit more live and let live about it. Whereas with an outdoor application, I'm a little bit more about like rust and what have you. But I mean, worst case scenario, the handles only last like 10 years. At that point, oil quench, then heat it to 400 and coat it in paste wax / beeswax. Buff it shiny. Ooh. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. And it's all, honestly times like this, I'm glad I have an expert. Ooh. It's always good to know I have an expert in chat. Because, like, I like working with wood. I like trees. I like trees a lot. I like trees to the point where I like cutting up trees. And working with cut up bits of tree. Metal's a whole other animal to me. But also kind of like more rambles. I probably would not pick up blacksmithing if I wasn't a VTuber. Well, expert is a strong word. I have like I have a 5 project head start on you. Yeah, but I think you've also done a lot more research. And like blacksmithing is a lot closer to where the stuff you wish to do as a maker versus me. Like for me, I like working with wood. I like building things out of wood. I eventually wish to get to a point where I can get some like weird woods, like Osage orange, black locust. Like I would love to work with like a lot more like traditional North American hardwoods. So me and my buddy, we've been bouncing around the idea of making an arcade cabinet together. And if I could figure out a way to build the shell of the arcade cabinet out of Osage orange, I totally would. Just to be able to advertise that this arcade cabinet could get hit by a car, and the arcade cabinet will probably be fine. Because I built it out of Osage orange. But that's like, I don't know, that's just like when people like do like stupid overkill build. I do want to do a stupidly overkill build. Like all sorts of crafting. What is my jam? I just don't want to be beholden to big hardware. I mean, for me, it's like, I'm not worried about big hardware. I'm just like, oh no, there's theoretically room in my shop for a forge. What if I were to put a forge there? I saw drawer pulls, saw they were $60 and bought an anvil later that year. But you can do drawer pulls with just wood. Like, you can just do wood rails and have your drawer mounted on just wood. Sucks, like the drawer for the flip tool part, that drawer literally just sits on the floor of the thing, and I just pull it out. Brandon, I know you saw this, Dad's Old Shop, but I'm working on doing a somewhat small reorganizing project in the garage where I'm tackling my corner of shame. In that photo you saw, the short section of wall, about 2 feet across, I actually want to turn that corner into my dedicated blacksmithing area. I want to store my anvil there. I want to store my forge over there. And then that small section of wall, I want to build a small French cleat wall organizer setup. And that's where I want to park all of my blacksmithing tools. I want to have my entire blacksmithing set up in one dedicated area of my garage. That is also going to be another project I'm going to be working on while I'm on vacation. And since I came down with like some pretty big ick at the start of this month, I do want to take my vacation fairly seriously. I know part of the reason because I think part of the reason I got sick is I was also like getting very worried. I was basically getting worried sick about the backlog of things I had to do. And yeah. Okay. I don't think I've been showing enough love to my Dutch oven. So I'm gonna grab some coals. I have beautiful looking coal. Look at those beautiful looking coal. Funny enough, I actually haven't heard the thing like so much. Normally I hear this thing like sizzling, cooking, and all sorts of carrying on. Oh! Did I hit something? Oh! Oh, we lost GoPro? Why did we lose GoPro? Heat? I could suspect heat. Oh, wait. What was my error message? Oh. That's the error message. Okay, one moment. I should be able to fix it. Oh no. My camera has thermal limits, so... I mean, that's kind of one of the issues with, the GoPro, is it does not like... It doesn't like it when things get hot outside. Particularly... In particular, the heat the fire puts out, it puts out like very radiant heat, and that's really hard on the camera. So I've got a wet rag on it, so I'm just gonna let the thing down for a little bit, and I should be able to hit the restart button, and it should be fine. Should be fine. Like, I do have a thermal shield for my iPhone. Ooh. Oh. 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 There we go. We are back. But yeah, no, I've been very careful with the GoPro about cooking it because, well, the GoPro is very expensive. It's orders of magnitude more expensive than the last camera. The GoPro I paid $350 for, whereas my earlier camera was just like a standard webcam. Granted, I wish the GoPro wouldn't pixelate. Especially on action. Damn it, it's a GoPro. It's to capture action. But it doesn't like to capture action. But yeah, I pulled a little bit of the fire closer. Get a little bit more of the benefits of the heat shield. Should be good. Could be. Girl. Math says this has been cooking for about 55 minutes. So, 55 minutes. Let's take a look. Oh, ooh. Bring this in. It's not the good end. That's the good end. That's the end. Jeepers. And everything's hot. Everything's so incredibly hot. So, what it is, I get it off those coals. There is delicious looking lasagna. So, the biggest reason I'm doing this now is we got mozzarella to add. Because I think technically I'm supposed to be a little bit further along in the bake. Bake. It's almost soft when tested with a knife. So, I got pork. Oh, pasta. The noodles are soft enough to be pierced with a fork. So this mozzarella cheese goes on top of that. I think I use about half my container. Granted, it is cooking wonderfully. Nah, that gotta be wrong. What? Mozzarella? Or just the amount? Did I use more? I mean, I'm not opposed. I use the whole bag. Haggle. What would we do without you? Where would we be without your sense of reason in these dark and troubling times? Oh. Mozzarella's on. Lid goes on. Try and manipulate this with this end. Then technically, that's gotta cook for about 15 more minutes. And then, after that cooks for 15 minutes, what were you gonna do with the other half? Probably just save it and use it for a salad or something, or throw it on a pizza. It's mozzarella cheese. I can find a way to eat mozzarella cheese. Sugi can find a way to eat cheese. Sugi will always find a way to eat cheese. Like, using up cheese is easy. Especially cheese as flexible as mozzarella. Like tomorrow night, going to be pizza night. Well, probably been used to like just add a little bit of extra cheese to my pizza tomorrow. Whereas like now, I'm not worried about. Well, honestly, I have, as you guys can clearly see, I have absolutely zero issues with just taking a bag of cheese and just throwing it at my Italian food and being like, good job today, everyone. Or like, hey, like, this is gonna be good. Granted, it's cheese, Italian food. Cheese, carbs, sauce. The holy trinity of great things. Now, I am going to be keeping track of my time. Important. Yes, fire. Time's important. Because eventually, this is going to be done. I need to have it cook with the mozzarella for 15 minutes, according to the recipe. So, I'm gonna let that do its thing for 15 minutes. But towards the end of those 15 minutes, well, actually, at the end of those 15 minutes, I'll take the Dutch oven lid off. I'll take it off the bed of coals at the bottom. As you can see, I haven't added any coals to the bottom whatsoever, because especially when I checked it, I saw a lot of bubbling up. And that bubbling up means I have a lot of heat from the bottom going up through the lasagna. That means I got a lot of heat down there. Now, granted, I technically should have done a better job of doing this number, and that's doing turns on it, because turns help evenly distribute the heat, especially if you're working wood coals like what I have here today. So, could have probably been a bit better about that, but I still think I'm going to end up with really good Italian food. So, not too worried about quality of the Italian food I'm going to end up with. But this is also a whole bunch of me being longly winded in terms of I'm going to have to eventually pee. Is the thing. Is the pee break will happen. And I can't believe I've been there for like nearly 2.5 hours. Jeepers creepers. I am actually so glad I started this early. Even if it was only like 10 minutes early. But you know what? Lights dimming. It's just kind of chilling off. Actually feeling really cozy around the fire. I'm just kind of doom scrolling. Well, I hope the doom scrolling isn't... I hope it's more scrolling than doom. Ooh. I mean, I've had to yammer for an extended period of time. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like... Scrolling through a feed is all fine and good and all, but... Too much doom and gloom is not good. Unfortunately, the world seems to find no shortage of things to be all doom and gloom about, and it's like, well, fuck you, life. I have beer, therefore I can be happy. Also, I'm gonna have Italian food here soon. Bar myself out of that one thing. Okay, cool. Oh man. Okay, so. Okay. So. I did manage to successfully food bar myself out of having a plate. So when the pee break happens, as well, because I can't plate food without a plate. Which, funny enough, I usually typically forget something. Some manner of cookware. Usually it's been... Historically it's been these guys. Because this is an actual dedicated set of spatulas that I keep in my downstairs area that I use purely for campfire cooking. And I sometimes forget to grab these from their storage I have them in. Because I store them with my camping equipment. Well, I have a cabinet that has just camping equipment. I have considered moving them into the tool shed, but I don't want to keep, because I'm okay keeping like my fire poker, I'm okay with my grill grates, my rebar, I'm okay with a lot of this stuff being in the tool shed, but actual like cookery stuff I don't want to keep in the tool shed. I am somewhat concerned about the humidity in the air potentially rusting my cast iron. A little bit concerned about that. So the cast iron stays in the garage for now. Until I feel reasonably secure that I can keep it in the tool shed. But unfortunately, I live in a river valley. And since I live in a river valley, high humidity is just I have to live with. It is a simple fact, a matter of my life. Well, it's just something I live with. But, I mean, another benefit of living in a river valley, though, I don't ever have to. I will never worry about my location on the rotation running out of water. I will always have plenty of water to manufacture beer with. Plenty of water to water crops. Other people in other areas actually have to work. Water scarcity. I remember the last time I was out in LA. That was back in the faraway land of 2015. And I remember the hotel just being like, hey, we've got low flow shower heads. Stuff like this, like stuff to save water. Places out there. California hurts for water. So, kind of just a matter of, on one hand, there's downsides to certain things, but there's also upsides, you know? Like, in this case, like, I deal with the downside being, like, really high levels of humidity. But the upside of that is they don't worry about water. Whereas other people not worried about humidity, but firstly are worried about water access. Now, for me, I honestly don't know how I would feel with like restrictive water access, because like when water becomes scarce, doing this becomes not possible, because burn bans are a thing. Burn bans are a thing that do happen at my location. We're not in a burn ban right now. Got a fair amount of water in the ground and all that stuff, so I'm not worried about any burn bans right now. But typically, as we get into like late summer, early fall, around my location on the rotation, burn bans do become a thing. Burn bans happen. I can't do this because not allowed. Now, some people are probably just like, well, just ignore the ban, and it's like, I kind of already step on my neighbor's toes enough as is, and I don't want to go further than what I already do. Because, like, I maintain my grass just up to local ordinances and code. Because I just like grass. It's like having to maintain grass. Also why I have planted a cornucopia of trees. The issue is, most of my trees They're small trees, because they're new trees. Not big trees yet. You've yet to shade out the grass, so I have to deal with a fair amount of grass maintenance, and just because I don't like doing something doesn't mean there's ways I can go about being an asshole about it. So I kind of already step on my neighbor's toes a little bit with that as is, and I don't want to push things any further than they need to be pushed. Essentially what it comes down to. Like, there's being ornery, being irritating, and then there's just like the point of being such an asshole where they just want to kick your teeth. Depends on the neighbor. I think for the most part, most of my neighbors are cool with me. There is an exception though. I do have a neighbor who their lawn has no weeds. They have just lawn in their lawn. Like, not even like a single tree, not a dogwood, not a redbud. 0 trees. And I think both their front and backyards. Like, they just have no trees on their property. I don't think they like me. Granted, I also don't like them, because whenever they cut the grass, they will run a leaf blower for a full half hour afterwards, blowing what minuscule stuff that they got. Can you grow something other than grass? It's possible to grow... It's possible to grow a couple of things. It's just grass is just kind of like the easiest thing, and me, I just kind of like... There are technically other options, it's just the issue is grass grows so well, I would be fighting grass while trying to grow those other options. It's not like out west where I could just stop watering the lawn, plant in a whole bunch of yuccas, and call it done. If I could easily do that, I would happily do that. But where I'm at, grass grows very well. Grass grows very well, very aggressively, and I spend a fair amount, especially within my in-ground beds, I spend a fair amount of my weeding just dealing with grass. I guess that does explain why there's, yeah, like, and that's kind of like the weird thing with, like, granted, it's also the thing, like, a lot of the western areas of the US are really starting to understand is, like, hey, just because these other places have grass doesn't mean we have to have grass. We can be different. Like, different's okay. And I really like the fact that we're having more of those thoughts. We're going more in that direction. We are accepting different is okay as far as landscape. Now, as my trees grow up, as they become more canopy class trees, and then they really start throwing shade, the grass is going to get a lot easier to maintain because it's going to have less sunlight, grow slower, to make my life a lot easier. But I have to get to that point though. Right now, the tallest tree that so I actually didn't plant it. It's a tree that just rooted itself and is just having fun where it's at. It's about 15 feet tall. That's my tallest tree that I've had get going. Now, so it was like probably like the last year or two. A lot of my trees have actually gotten taller than me. So, really starting to cross that threshold of the trees getting bigger than me. Really starting to have a bit more of a canopy to them, so really good stuff. Okay, cool, sweet. So, mozzarella's been cooking for about 15 minutes. Now, we're gonna get that off. Slip off. Oh my god. Oh man. Up here. I don't want to have it be up here forever, but there it is. The beautiful, the glorious, wonderful lasagna. So, since I have now, personally, it'd be really cool to have a front yard of mint. Ooh. So the dangerous thing with mint is once you plant mint, you've got mint. Looks like clovers are pretty viable. Yes. I've done some scattering of red clover, and I actually have a couple areas of my yard where clover does really well. And I kind of just let the clover do its thing. It's just the biggest issue if I was to formally go from grass to something else, I'd just be like fighting grass nonstop, and I fight grass in my garden beds enough as is. I really don't want to like take that fight elsewhere. So I've been yammering about it and talking about it, and we're actually at the point where I actually have to worry about it. So I'm gonna let the lasagna rest here for a little while, and while it's resting, I'm gonna go use the little homesteader's room, and I need to grab a plate. So I'll be back after a few. And I am back. Light on. I love it as a cover plant for my garden. Oh man, clover as a cover crop is amazing. Good old nitrogen fixation. Actually, that's like the biggest reason why I plant peas in my garden. Is not only do I like peas, but peas are also like a good nitrogen fixer. Go. Got some pale ale here. Over beer. Man, it's not. Oh damn it! St. Patty's Days is gone. Sweet, we dodged that bullet. I mean, granted, I actually have a book called Extreme Homebrewing, and it's basically all about weird brews you could make. Really nice. Like, I really like the pours I've gotten off this pale ale. So, I have to be really careful with this, because this piece of wood down here is not evenly supported. So, it's just on a spot. Actually, I am going to be aggressive. Full wedge out. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. That smells amazing. That smells absolutely. Now I gotta get this. I can smell it through the screen. Woohoo. But yeah. There we go. We have spinach and roasted red pepper lasagna. I gotta say, like, this looks great. It just looks really great. It smells really good. Granted, unfortunately, judging by the amount of steam that's coming off this, I can't eat it just. I had more knives than that. I guess I lost it. I probably lost it. Okay, so we'll just have to go in with a fork. So, here a little bit more in the picture. Let's just grab ourselves a little bit of cheese. Wow. I can taste the spinach in that. Even though it doesn't really have a hunk of spinach on it, but my gosh. That's really good though. I just want to get like a big fistful of noodles. Sure. But just a little bit of noodle. My gosh, like there's a really nice pepper flavor to it, like bell pepper flavor to it. But with the sauce I used, like the sauce, like really good stuff, like real nice kick to it. Off to the gym I go. Enjoy dinner, Otsu. You have a good day at the gym? Dad's old shop. I hope it goes well. I hope your ankles don't explode. Please don't let your ankles explode. And I hope you enjoy that. As for me, I wanted to get a bite full of everything. Yep. 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 Oh my gosh, this is great. Yeah. This is fabulous. This is really good. I really like spinach and peppers. Just they go really well together. Really good synergy with them. I have yet to taste any tofu, which we'll take as good sign. There's definitely a little bit of a spice kick to this, but like it's a really pleasant spice kick. Oh my gosh, like definitely had a really good hit of pepper there. Nice big chunky pepper, good texture. But yeah, I gotta say, first off, it's a lasagna. Of course it's good. Second of all, it's a vegetarian lasagna. Really good. For a vegetarian lasagna. I gotta say, I am very, very happy with how this has turned out. So, I have a backlog of, well, why though? What? Like, why vegetarian? Oh, just to be different. Because, so, the first lasagna I made here around the campfire was a meat sauce based one. I used a ground beef based meat sauce. So for round 2, I wanted to do vegetarian. I typically most of my diet's vegetarian. Granted, I don't mind like ground beef in a lasagna, but I would say this lasagna turned out amazing. Turned out wonderful. It's lovely. Maybe vegetarian, but it makes me happy. I mean, I have Italian food and beer. Like, it's pretty easy to be happy in these circumstances. So, I need to. That's what's important at the end of the day. Yes, 100%, 200%, all the percent. To have good food that you enjoy with a little bit of irresponsibility. Like the best life can get. Best that life can get. So, let's see. Oh, wow. What will people be? Long ago. Mr. Zerzon is you on. Oh. So let me back to here. Oh. Here is gentleman stream that I will be lurking in. Well, I might stop by. I'll probably stop by and chat a little. But I'll be hanging out there for a little while after today while I'm enjoying my food. So, all that, I would like to say thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.